Hello everybody, it's a beautiful summer day. It's getting hot out though, huh?
Oh yeah.
I'm Dave Goodwin with Original Privateer. I got with me my son, my 10-year-old son Chayton, and I got my beautiful daughter Layne Goodwin with me. She's 18, getting ready to go to college, KU. Yep. And we're gonna do a new series on confidence. And I wanted to bring in my daughter from her perspective, being a young girl, 18, going to college. And kind of get her perspective on it from a woman's perspective, a young lady's perspective, on what your ideology is, what your thoughts were, how you go about it. So Layne, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Well, yeah, like you said, I'm Layne. I'm 18. I just graduated high school, getting ready to go to college. And confidence is something that my dad and I talk about a lot because I've always, from his teaching and my mom's teaching, I've always thought that it's something that is the most important in life because it affects every aspect of your day-to-day activities, whether you think of it or not. And confidence, especially coming out of high school, granted I haven't faced the other challenges that life's gonna throw at me yet, but just coming out of high school, I recognize the struggles that it puts there and how important it is to maintain confidence while you're in situations like that, just because without confidence, you're always comparing yourself, you're never fully committed to an activity, you never feel like you can reach your potential. It's something that can hold you back or it can help you succeed. So that's why we talk about it so much, for sure.
Now Layne, from your experience, being 18, you got all your girlfriends and everything, do you feel like confidence comes and goes? Is there times you struggle with confidence, or if you are struggling with confidence, how do you do it? How do you overcome it and push forward?
Well, I'm lucky that I've had such confident parents to raise me all my life. So confidence is something that has been instilled in me from a really young age. So in that aspect, I may not struggle with it as bad as the next person, but I'm only human, so it does come and go. And confidence is something that you can't just have. It's something that you create and you maintain and you help grow. So for me, I try to maintain it. I do my best to maintain it in all things, but when it does go, it gets hard. You question whether it be your looks or how good you are at something, and you question if you're gonna fail, if you're gonna fly. It's really difficult. So normally when I lose it, I just have to reinstill in myself who I am and remind myself what I'm capable of and what I'm good at. And part of maintaining it for me is just knowing the situation and being honest with myself and knowing that, yeah, I may not be the best at this one thing, I may not be the best at that thing, but I'm good at a lot of other things. You don't have to be the best at everything. I'm great with who I am, and so I feel like that's something that you have to remind yourself. It sounds cheesy, but reminding yourself is what's gonna help you maintain
like positive affirmations.
Right. You just have to work on your mind, and when you're telling yourself, I don't look quite as good as her, you've got to kick that out, because so what? I mean, granted, you have to be honest with yourself, because you can't walk around thinking I'm the best at this and that and I'm always going to be the favorite person in the room. You have to understand that that may not be the case, but it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It doesn't mean you're not awesome.
So let's talk a little bit about like dirt bikes, riding dirt bikes and your dad teaching you how to ride dirt bikes. Talk a little bit about the confidence on that. I mean, did you struggle with riding dirt bikes? Was it something you were afraid of, or where was the confidence? Where did you have to dig deep on that part of dirt bike riding out there, or something like that?
Well, as far as initially getting on, I have always been an adventurer, and watching my brother and my dad do it, I've always thought it looked like a thrill. So as far as getting on, that wasn't something I struggled with, but it was the little aspects, like learning how to ride in front of people for the first time. I mean, that was a struggle. I see all these girls out here that ride phenomenally, and I'm still, like, I practically have training wheels, I mean, that's something that you can struggle with, but everybody started from the beginning, and I'm not doing it competitively. I'm out there for a good time, and I have to remind myself that. I promote girls who are better at it than I am, because that's what you should do, and as far as the little aspects, like whether it be taking your first jump or continually taking jumps, or when Dad taught me how to ride my first wheelie, not that I was totally successful at it. It's something that, yeah, if you don't have confidence in your capabilities, that can really create a roadblock for you on top of the challenge of learning how to do it in the first place. But you just have to be real with yourself and tell yourself, I'm just as capable as the next person. And if you don't feel like you are, then go ride some more and practice and do the stuff you're good at and come back and prepare yourself to take that challenge. You have to commit. And
it's kind of like we talked. What was the one thing Dad taught you about the jumping? It's like a lot like life, right?
Right. Everything happens at the face. Everything happens behind you at the point where you actually are taking off. It's the thinking that you're doing before you take it and the preparation that you're giving yourself before you actually make the jump.
Give us an example. Like, I know you love to do public speaking.
Mm-hmm.
Public speaking is something a lot of us struggle with, including myself probably, depending on how big the crowd is. But
right.
Talk a little bit about how we talked about everything happens on the face of the jump, or the approach to the
Mm-hmm.
jump, the mindset. Give us an example, like something like you like public speaking, like how you got to prepare yourself for that so you don't choke in front of 500 people.
Right. That's actually a great example, because with public speaking it's a little more obvious because it's all about your preparation. You can't just do something right when you get to the podium that makes it make or break it. It's all about how much you practice. That's something that can help build your confidence, because if you're not putting the time in, of course you're not going to walk up there confident. Or it's the affirmations that you're giving yourself beforehand. You can't walk up there thinking, what about those 10 people who I know in the crowd probably aren't going to like my speech? Just heck with them. There's 10 others that are. You have to, and who cares if they like it? Who cares if they think that you look good up there? Because as long as you walk up there and you know that you put in the time that was necessary, and you know that you are capable of doing it, and you're capable of doing it good, why does it matter what they think? Because as long as you walk away and you feel good about it, I know that sounds cheesy, but I've been in those situations before where I'm just kind of wondering, I didn't place very well, so maybe there was something about it that I didn't like, that they didn't like, but as long as I walked away feeling like I put in the time and I gave the best I could give, screw it, because that's going to be life. Not everybody's going to like what you do. You just have to embrace it.
Now, you're 18 years old, young lady. You say, you're a pretty confident girl, but what are some of the things you do struggle with, and how do you push through them? Maybe there's a young girl out there watching this video. How do you, or whoever's watching this video, how do you push through those things that you do struggle with?
Okay,
what are some of the things that you struggle with?
Well, and I'm not trying to put the emphasis on struggling with confidence on girls, because everybody in the world struggles with it. But as far as coming from a young woman's standpoint, there are a lot of factors to going into even something as simple as getting ready for my day, whether it be what outfit I'm wearing, my jewelry, my makeup. I'm kind of to the point I'm confident in all of those things now. It took practice, but there are so many aspects that you could question yourself as being a girl. You may think, oh, I'm not pretty enough, my personality is not good enough, I'm not smart enough, my outfits aren't on point enough. There's so many things that you could be questioning. And at the end of the day, first of all, does it really matter if your outfit was the best there? For me, I have to remind myself to worry less about my looks, because at the end of the day, chances are you're not going to be remembered for what shoes you were wearing or how fancy your eyelashes looked. At the end of the day, it's all about how you present yourself, and you're in total control of that. So you may think that your impression is going to be based off of how you look, but quit worrying about that, really. It's okay to want to look good when you go out, but worry more about how you present yourself and how nice of a person you are, how bubbly you are in a crowd. That is something that you may be insecure about, but you're in total control of it. So it's easier to worry about something that you can control rather than a look that in the end is probably not going to matter. And you can't be in control of whether somebody thinks you're pretty or not, but you are in control of whether somebody thinks that you're nice and smart and funny. You're in control of that. So as far as being a girl goes, that's something that I kind of remind myself, because I've walked out of the house thinking, gosh, I look like trash today. And it's hard to keep confidence and maintain a good attitude around people when I feel like that. But I have to remind myself, screw how I look. If I try to be a good person and if I try to be likable, then that
so rocking your cool.
Yeah, that's gonna do more. I mean, and that's something you can control, so it's less worrisome. That makes sense.
Yeah, I think we all have struggles. It doesn't matter how old we are, whether we're a man or female. Confidence affects us all.
Right.
I mean, I deal with confidence on certain aspects. I may show up to Thunder Valley, which I don't, but if I did, I'm gonna have a little bit of confidence issues because I'm riding with guys that are out there killing it. But I'm gonna have to remind myself who I am, what I'm about, and go out there and find why I ride, and that's for fun. You know, I'm not 18 or in my 20s anymore, and I think it doesn't matter who you are, how, you know, it doesn't matter what the demographic is. Those are things we all struggle with, but it's about how we respond to it and what are we doing that is how do we maintain our confidence, or how are we getting it? You know, because don't you think without establishing confidence, you're gonna have a roadblock in everything in life.
Oh yeah, it's not just whether or not you go out on the street and you question and compare yourself to other people, whether it be a man or a woman, but everything. I mean, if you don't have enough confidence, it's hard to even start a conversation sometimes. It's something that gets in the way of everything. You know, it's as simple as if you're not confident, you're not even going to want to go mow your lawn with your shirt off. It's going to keep you from doing that. You just got to be really, you got to be into yourself.
Dad rocks,
you know?
Fat Belly. But you know, also too though, don't you think that fear of failure is going to dominate?
Oh yeah, and that's something that goes hand in hand with confidence. But you can be a confident person and still have that fear, you know. But I'm about, I think you should be real. If you're, say you're gonna go to a race and you're fearful that you're not gonna do good, you're not even gonna make it past the first corner, you have to be real with yourself when you evaluate the outcomes, because you have to recognize that you may not make it past the first corner, you may not make it over the first jump, so you do have to recognize the outcomes. But you could make it around the first corner, you could get the whole shot, you could triple the double jump, you know. I mean, you have to evaluate the outcomes first and then ask yourself, what can I do to be successful and get the whole shot? Or, you know, I don't race, but I watch a lot of it, and I've got Dad backing me up.
So you're saying, what are you focusing on? Are you focusing on all the things that could go wrong, kind of deal?
Right. So rather than just seeing the wrongs, you have to see them to maintain some realness to you, but you also have to see the positive outcomes and work your butt off to get there and focus on that, because focusing on the bad things aren't going to make it good.
Focusing on all the things that can go wrong, right?
Yeah.
So if you walk up to this, when you were on your 125 and I asked you if you wanted to ride my 252 stroke, in other words, if you walked up to it giving yourself all the reasons that could go wrong, you never would have threw a leg over this bike.
No. Yeah. Or if I was too worried about who was parked next to us watching me as I struggled to even get on the bike in the first place, then I probably wouldn't have ever taken off, you know. So
is that where you find yourself digging deep and taking a breath and saying, why am I getting caught up in this thinking?
Yeah, and just chill out. Just live for the moment, you know. I mean, quit worrying about this failure and that failure and what this person thinks. Just do it for you. You shouldn't be doing it for anyone else in the first place, so why are you worrying about what they're gonna think at the end of the day, you know? And if you love what you do, then it's fun. I mean, I don't race, I do other things though. I show horses, I do public speaking, I ride in the free time, and I don't do it for the end result. Now granted, winning is a good feeling, but you should be doing it just for the fact that you love what you're doing. And at the end of the day, even if you lose it and you don't win the race, you still feel good because at least you're pursuing what you love, because some people aren't, and then that's a miserable life to live. Yeah. At least you're doing it in the first place.
That's awesome, Layne. I really appreciate you taking the time today. We've been wanting to do this for a while.
Yeah.
I want to do this a little more with you, just for a different perspective. I mean, I'm sitting here listening to you going, man, that's some good
which
advice.
I mean, I know you're my inspiration every day, so
well, Chayton,
I don't know everything.
Chayton, you got any advice on anything?
Nope.
What do you think the biggest thing that holds you back in life is?
Fear.
Boy, you are listening to Dad, aren't you? How long have I been telling you that?
I don't know.
No. Yeah, well, the point is here, nobody's perfect. There's no perfect family. I make mistakes all the time. This shit that I talk about, I can fail miserably. Miserably. And when I go big, I go big. I don't fail small, I fail big. But the point is, how do we respond to it? How do we turn that negative or that failure into a positive and learn from it? I mean, how do we make that negative for us or that failure for us instead of against us?
Right.
And I just think that, you know, these things are made to give people a different perspective, a different mindset, and I think we have to take chances and take risks and get outside of our comfort zone, because that's where the real beauty is.
Right.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
I mean,
like reaching success in a bunch of safe circumstances for the rest of your life isn't fun. I mean, I'd rather fail by going big than win by going small. You know, I want to see what I'm capable of, and granted, you know your limits. You have to be smart with your risks, but I mean, come on, why always be safe? That's not fun.
Well said. Well, guys, we appreciate it. Thanks for listening to us. I hope these videos help somebody out there. Please share these videos out. When you're on Facebook, share these videos out. Tag a friend, comment. Check us out on our Instagram channel, Original Privateer. We also have a YouTube channel. Make sure you go check it out. If you want to follow some of Layne's work, she's always doing some free-spirited stuff.
Yeah, my Instagram is Layne_Goodwin, so go check me out on there.
Check it out. Chayton don't have one yet. It'll be about 10 years before he gets one.
Yeah, let's hope.
He's into model airplanes and stuff like that, so we hope he stays there. But thanks for following us. We appreciate your time. And go out there and rock your cool. Like Layne was saying, it's from the inside out. Who cares what you're wearing? Who cares what kind of car you drive? I'm standing here next to my 2001 YZ250. I love this bike, and it's not brand new. It's got a lot of wear and tear on it. But hey, I'm going out there having fun, and I'm gonna try to rock my cool like that. So rock your cool out there. We love you. Thanks for following us. We'll talk to you later.
See ya.